Recently, an ID released that was so incredibly atrocious that I had to break my usual streak of staying far away from opinions on new release IDs to make a video on it. That video is this one, by the way. I'm not exactly the best at Limbus Company. I mean, most of my experience really does just come from the base ID only challenge, but this ID stretches my opinion of how low an ID can go so far from what it was before that I have to talk about it here. But before I waste any more time, let's get on with the review. Night Drifter Ryoshu has a 1 coin Gloom for her first skill, has a 3 coin Gluttony attack for her second, and a 4 coin Pride for her third, clashing at 13, 16, 16 respectively, or 15, 22, 25 with all of her coin power gaining passives active. I'm not even going to pretend to understand if those are common values, but from the very rough knowledge I have from the base ID only challenge, I believe that the skill 1 clashing value is decently common. Her non-adjusted skill clashing values are abysmal though for everything else, and her adjusted values are actually decently hard to reach, needing a total of 12 Rupture on target and Poise on self. But her status affliction? I can definitely talk about that. She has a net change of 0, -1, -1 when it comes to Poise count after hitting 20, or +1, 0, 0 if you waste a turn on her guard skill, all of which may not actually even be a problem, considering her potency gain is practically 0, with no gain on her first skill, 2 to 6 on her second, providing she has maximum buffs, and 3 on her final. Meaning that, assuming the enemy has at least 20 Rupture, which is the requirement for her to gain that additional poise, she's only going to be gaining 15 potency per full rotation of her skills. Worse than that though, is her effect on Rupture, coming in at a tidy net 3 potency 0 count if unopposed on her skill 1 and it crits, 3 -1 if she crits on her skill 2, and 7 -2 on her skill 3 if she crits with it. If you're curious, that's really bad. But there's something worse than this still. Worse than the terrible and frankly unreliable clashing values, worse than the unmaintainable poise stack, worse than the absolute leech she is when it comes to Rupture, and if you've been paying attention, you'll probably have already realised what I'm about to say. These skills that I've had on screen the entire time, they're not actually Ryoshu's skills, they're Lindayu's. And this is the real root of the issue for me. The real reason why Night Drifter Ryoshu is the worst ID ever. She's literally just Lindayu with a slightly different coat of paint and worse skills and passive. If you're curious, by the way, here's the actual skill she has. As you'll see, it's more text, less reliable, and just all-round worse. Now, I personally don't care for finding out the pinnacle of the meta in Limbus Company, or any of Project Moon's games really, because for me that's not what the games are about. They're about coming up with something interesting and novel, and making something funny out of it. Sunshower Heathcliff might not be the best ID in terms of strength, but he's unique, and I can appreciate the thought that was put into him from Project Moon to convert Dongbek's boss fight to his kit. Hell, even release IDs had care put into them. Sure, they turned out awfully power-wise compared to some of the modern IDs, and their kits do just flat out not work sometimes, looking at you based on, but they had spirit to them. There was an aspect of intelligent and careful design in their creation. But Night Drifter, Ryoshu, you can't tell by the way, but that was in extreme inverted commas, takes nothing at all from the Night Drifter himself, and is instead just a 1-for-1 copy from an already existing ID. There was no thought put into this Ryoshu ID, no care put behind her kit to make an interesting adaptation and merger of content already put into the game. Frankly, if I wanted to, I'm willing to bet I could design a better ID than this one. Hell, I'm confident I could ask an AI right now to do it, and the shit that it puts out would be better than this one. And it wouldn't even have any less actual care put into its design. And for me, all of that makes her the worst ID in Limbus Company's history. Now, I'd just like to say at the end of the video, if you do enjoy this ID's design, this isn't intended as a critique towards you personally. It's just that my own ethos of how design and duty work with jobs means that I believe that there's a certain duty of care that really Project Moon should be putting into everything they make. And if they're so scared of repeating a mouse situation, then why make new IDs at all? Like, seriously, this and W. Heathcliff just... they feel like they're dropping the ball, over and over again, on IDs that actually have really interesting possibility behind them. I mean, same with She Faust. Most of this comes out of a place of, well, I mean, most of it is disappointment, let's not be mistaken here, but also part of it is a desire to see better things made. Project Moon has a lot of money, that's a true fact, and I believe that if they really wanted to, they could put all the care they desired into their project. But with this happening, and the collab cancelling everything under the sun from another Intervallo to, an actual Walpurgis, just leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and at the end of the day, this is the worst possible thing I could have seen happening, and for me is the final straw. But with that said, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider subscribing, and comment down below with your own thoughts. I always like to hear other people's opinions on the matter when I make videos like this one, although I've only done it once before besides, and that was a very controversial video, and then subscribing lets YouTube know you might like to watch more of the stuff I put out. Additionally, do consider joining the Discord, because I talk a lot there, and also there are going to be a lot of discussions about this after this video comes out, I'm sure. Additionally, thank you to the members too. I promise I am still working on the Ruina solo challenge video, and I'll probably have a first draft of it out by this weekend for you all to judge. But with that said, good morning, good evening, and good night. I'll see you all next time.